knows what is the guidance, the action steps, the energy. So why, if it's not, what does it matter? Ask Amaya. She's the one who asked for it. And you don't need to use it. Who asked for it? God, you can always go to my website and find it. It wasn't for you. You didn't ask for it. It was for exactly who asked for it. All right. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Take some time before bed to appreciate yourself for who you are. You are on a unique path and you are doing the work. Good. That's always a good start. That means that usually, first and foremost, when you're on a unique path, it means you're not following the crowd. You're doing your own thing, uh, the beat of your own drum, right? Uh, Marching to that beat, and that's okay. It's a good thing. You're a leader, not a follower, and that's fantastic. So learning how to celebrate yourself and really check in and do well for yourself is good. What's this one? Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. The ability to change your mind is an incredible gift. Honor it as such. Allow yourself to change your mind about something today and fully enjoy it. And the reason I'm saying that is because as we're learning to appreciate ourselves, we forget what actually we have, the abilities, the mastery, the decision making. And when there's this thing that expectation happens when you're growing, living through life. Life is lifing. You're expected to go to work to be at time. You're expected to show up here. You're expected to do this. You're expected to stop at the grocery store at 3 p.m. every day because that's what you do, right? Um, and you just continue to do it, and it becomes monotonous because you're not sure how to change your mind. You feel like you can't, but the idea is that you can. And when we forget that, we tend to fall in line to this line that we don't want to be on. And that's when life starts to fade out. That's when the joy, the passion, all the good things in life start to fade away because we feel like we should, we have to, we must. So, what it's saying is, you're supposed to go to the grocery store today, and it doesn't have to be just that thing. Like you're driving home, you always drive the same way. Take a side road, do something, change your mind and be like, wow, see, it didn't change anything. Everything's good. Look at what I got to see new and different, right? It's just the idea of getting close. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Sunny side up. Hi. How are you? Scorpio too. Perfect timing. That's what we're doing. So just learning to understand that that is an actual gift. And the idea is when you get used to doing it, it's not about doing crazy things. It's about you have the capacity to change your mind at any given time. So when we get stuck in the shoulda, woulda, couldas, the expectations, the trying to keep up with the Joneses, we put ourselves in this position where we're already set up to fail. And when we start making these random decisions, uh, like just changing them, what it does is it empowers us, right? We forget the things that uh, we have the capacity to do because we let it slide off and we don't think about it. And it's really sad because it's not meant to hurt or hinder anybody. It's just, it gets monotonous and you forget. And what happens is you disempower yourself. You keep yourself small because you're afraid of what that changing your mind on something is going to do. So the idea is like while you're appreciating yourself, every time you change your mind and make a different decision, whether it's I'm going to turn right today, and if I take three rights instead of one left, who cares or whatever, right? I'm going to take the scenic route. You know, instead of going for my regular coffee, I'm going to go to a new restaurant and sit there, or go to the library. It's small little things, but those intuitive nudges and those small decisions that you change your mind on, what they do, not only do they empower you, but those are those little synchronicities that the universe does. And that's where you bump into someone that you have the most inspiring conversation. That's when you see something that just sparks this artistic creation in you, right? It's like always where those ideas and all that greatness comes from. And when we forget to do that, we lose that power. And when we start making those little decisions, we're empowered. And now we're co creating with the universe. And it's amazing. It really is amazing when you start doing it. No yelling, Miss Grace. I know I love you, but you got to remember the deal, bud. I need to fight making deals with my kid. But we have to practice now because summer's coming. Otherwise, it's never going to get done. And then I'm going to have to trade my kid in. I'm just kidding. And remember, oh, I just threw it at myself. That means it matters. You're good enough. You're absolutely good enough. If you're breathing and you have air in your lungs, I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you've done, you're good enough. But you have to believe it. And you know what happens? Oh, look at underneath. Show the world the real you. Don't be afraid. Being vulnerable is probably the biggest strength you could ever have, and it takes the most courage. And I'm not saying get on here and tell all your life story or any of that stuff. I talk about a lot of things, but I do it very. I love it. You're good. Thank you. I do it in a way. I'm never going to trauma dump on you. But let me tell you, I told you some stories of the things I went through, and the things I've overcome, not went through, overcome. Um, it would probably blow your mind. And I don't believe in telling those stories, or if I can, I always try to think it out and tell the story in a way that says, I relate, I understand what you're going through. I've been there, and this is how I overcame it. Right. And what happens is when you do that, you allow them the space to say, okay, I see she understands, but I'm not going to traumatize you with the things that I went through, unless it's imperative and it's going to help you. Right. So when you're making these decisions and you're doing these things, um, being vulnerable and doing those small things can be helpful. Um, but it has to empower you and empower others. Because if it empowers you and it hinders others, not that it's your business what other people should care about, but when you take that time to be courteous and care about yourself and say, I know what I've been through. I don't want to hinder somebody else like that. You empower yourself, right? And you find another way. It doesn't mean that it's different. That's the pivot. That's the learning how to change your mind. That's the making the decisions, right? And that's where you get to celebrate yourself because I already know me. I know who I am. I know what I've been through, and I know everything that I know. And it's never going to be everything. I also know that every single person I encounter in this world is going to teach me something. There's a lesson, there's an interaction, there's love, empowerment. There's so many things that each person can teach us. Those small decisions, those celebrating yourself, that trust, that empowerment, that vulnerability allows a safe space. That's where you're not getting people with their masks. You're not getting people trying to be fake. You're going to get people being exactly who they are because you are your own authentic self and you celebrate it and you trust it and you follow those little decisions and those little mind changes and you're like, okay, universe, I see you. I don't know everything you're doing, but I'm gonna trust you. That's empowerment. That is empowerment at its absolute greatest. And you're learning how to celebrate yourself. And that's amazing. Just making my round, stopping by, showing some love and support. I appreciate you. Look, messenger. This one came out in the other one too. See, this is why I said uh, the water signs. Some of them are very similar. Like if you go back to Cancer, you'll see some of them are similarities. So yours is different. You're celebrating yourself in a different way, but they are very, very similar. So um, if it goes this way through for Pisces also, then I think next month I'm going to just do them all the same. Because what happens is it's where the moon, the planetary alignments, and especially in April, because there's so much going on in the planet. I'm still going to read it though, because I don't want my Scorpios to feel left out. Also, angel number 92, again, because this one was 92. 92 is important. Somebody's birth year, kid's birth year, uh, angel number, the 92 is important. I don't know, it may not be for you or someone else, but someone that comes to watch this, angel number 92 is definitely important. You're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and time again to see the light. The crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius. Often appearing in the shade of blue, they hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony. Miss Grace, to ensure greater balance, sit down, please, to help us see that we're all connected and that the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. You're being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and feminine, to be a guardian of the harmony and balance on earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. The unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of masculine and feminine. Yeah, like I just feel like that is the water signs right now, because water signs are deep transformation anyway. And learning to find that balance. That's what I feel. I feel like it's a little, I think y'all kind of have a little bit of this going on, all your water signs. Returning of the sacred union within, rekindling of heaven and earth. You can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in your own life. The ripples will flow from there. You can honor the balance and sacred masculine and feminine energies within yourself. I just feel like that's kind of, I mean, to be honest, I feel like that's kind of what's going on within the planet completely, right? Um, if you notice a lot of the, like, I don't want to get into the politicalness of it all. Alexandru, welcome. How are you? Uh, I don't want to get into it too politically, but at the end of the day, the patriarchal systems are starting to change. Women are like the balance is coming back in. The women aren't trying to be so extreme. I don't want to say feminist. I'm not opposed to any of it. I'm all for everybody being happy, but learning to understand that we can't be always masculine. We have to learn to be in our receiving. And the men also learning that you have to be a little more, you have to have feminine to you too, right? You have to have that sensitivity, that intuition, that that gentleness, the compassion, all those things, and that has to do with balancing the feminine. And when we get too far out of whack in either way, that's when all these crazy things happen. Wars, the bad things. Look, warrior woman. Yeah, I at least this one is you're finding the balance, and you're understanding that at the end of the day, a warrior is a warrior is a warrior, and when you show up, you're that balance is the strength, that compassion, the ability to celebrate yourself, the intuition, the vulnerability. It is like that balance and all of that is exactly what makes you a warrior. People think a warrior is just someone going to war. You fight in the spiritual. You fight with doing your inner work, the deep-seated healing. Angel number 56. Like it's a different kind of balance. And when you balance that inner and you do that work, my God, the way things change is just mind blowing. Have you answered your deepest calling? You are here for a reason. You are being called to bravely pave a path. Remember, I said you're following your own path. You're a leader, not a follower. Uh, have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul led life is not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the gatekeepers to our greatest gifts. And the more resistance we have toward answering a call, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I'm not afraid. I was born to do this." But the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you're feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. And courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then as uncomfortable as it might feel, it's actually a sign that you are on the right track. If it doesn't scare you, it's not worth doing. Have you answered your deepest calling? And right underneath it, I put the deck upside down, like I set it down upside down. It says yes. It's the bottom of the deck. So you know what that's saying. Whatever it is that you're a little scared to do that you really want to do. Uh, oh, and I'm gonna tell you a secret. Excitement and fear vibrate at the same vibration. Okay, it's a low fear is a lower vibration. Excitement is a higher one, but they both feel the same in your body and in your brain. They both feel the same. So when you can flip the switch from I'm scared to oh my god, I'm excited to see how this goes, you're literally raising your vibration for doing almost nothing at all, just flipping the switch, right? So when we start to understand that, that's true courage. Do it scared, do it shaking. When I first was doing these, man, it scared the crap out of me. I didn't, this was not something that I thought that I was going to do, uh, nor did I think that I was going to love it. But I've learned that I love storytelling, I love teaching, I love sharing things that help people with strength. Um, and even if I'm not perfect at it, even if there's distractions, even if there's all those things, I'm good with rolling with it, right? I'm not scared. I don't care, right? I'm doing what I'm meant to do and it makes me happy. Um, that's a pretty good place to be. And I think that you're looking to do that. And there's something already in your brain, it's already there in your heart, just waiting to jump out at. Can I have one of these for my Scorpios, Taurus? Reevaluation and focus on your home and love. So it says a change of heart, and then focus on your home and love. So, and your home, by the way, isn't always the walls, your four walls. Okay, this is your home, your soul, your heart. This is your home base. This is where your alignment is. This is where your foundation is. This is where your knowledge, your wisdom, all of that stuff is. So when you're looking to understand something, where are you going to go? You're going to go to your home, right? Where it matters. And you already know that. You're appreciating yourself, right? You're starting to understand it and see it. Even though you don't know the whole thing, you're starting to understand. You're celebrating when you show up. You're seeing that you're putting in the work. And that little thing in your mind that maybe you don't want to say out loud just yet, the thing that you want to do or that you are curious or interested in that you want to do, you're starting to feel more brave and ready to do it. Maybe not do it perfectly. Maybe it's just about researching, starting to pull it all together. Like you're not showing it to the world just yet. You're not ready to be that vulnerable, but you're starting to get really a little more bold and a little more ready to take that dive, you know, because you're starting to trust in yourself. You're starting to trust in your abilities, how you learn, how you behave. Star seed elemental. You're starting to trust, you're starting to flow, you're starting to understand what your intuition is doing and what it's telling you, and that is really a good space. Also, angel number 45. One more. Children, oh, you're finding your inner child. Yep. Children as teachers, fun, lightheartedness, laughter, newly incarnated souls, the child within, maintaining an inquisitive perspective, wonder, and imagination. Being with children can be a great way to recapture wonder, innocence, unapologetic truth, and wisdom. The realities are not yet muddied by shoulds or cannots, and their imaginations are often so wild and creative that they can be our biggest inspirers. Furthermore, as their incarnation from pure spirit is more recent, they are still aware of energy and have a natural psychic awareness. I can hear you flipping on the couch, you weirdo. You're going to fall on your head. Can you not fall on your head? I would appreciate that. As for the children, right? I know you love your cat, but you need to sit there nicely and not break your head, please. You do love her. And stop telling fibs, or I'm going to take her away and give her away. One. Okay, choose to love her. That's wonderful. Okay, sometimes adulting can become too serious. Very true. When this happens, bringing a childlike, lighthearted sense of play to your perspective can be the most productive way to rebalance. Facing challenging circumstances with inquisitiveness, holy words, can bring joy to whatever we are accomplishing. Imagine stepping into a child's shoes and seeing how they perceive the world. If you have a problem, consider how a child might solve it. Think back to when you were little and what you loved to do. Remember how the world felt around you and how magical and mysterious things may have been. What has changed? What would you tell the 7-year-old you? By the way, that's how old my kid is. The little people of today will be the inventors, creators, and leaders of tomorrow. How can we help nourish their big souls to ready them for an optimal journey through life? Right now, powerful souls are incarnating on Earth to help with the progression of this planet. All children are equally special, but some may have different or unique needs due to their more sensitive and energetic natures. The ways children were brought up in previous generations may not be the best options for today. Humans are evolving, and children can be our wisest teachers. May we listen to them with our hearts and let their ways unveil fresh new eyes so we may see a whole new world. And the meaning of this card for you: bring a sense of play, lightness, and spontaneity to your life. Be inspired by children of your inner child. You are encouraged to add inquisitiveness. Get curious. Just get curious. You don't gotta understand all the answers. Ask the questions. Why? What does that mean? I wonder what would happen if, 54, 54 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. I got you. All right. This card may signify, oh, pardon me, you're encouraged to add inquisitiveness, fun, and laughter to your reality. This card may signify the presence of a child in your life. Spending time with children will help you experience the world from a fresh perspective and see them as the inspiring teachers that they are. And yes, children are one of the biggest and easiest ways to get to your inner child. If you see me on weekends, I'm what, 44? And I'm outside running around with the kids, thinking I'm 10 or 12. Having having to be the adult sucks, right? I like to go have fun. We jump on the trampoline and play, play outside. The ability to look at things every single day, to get up and sing "You're My Sunshine," and just say thank you and be so happy. That is a gift. It is such a gift. And kids know that. They look like the conversation this morning with my kiddo on the way to school was, do you see how golden bright that sun is? Do you see how beautiful that is? That's what she told me. It's shining so brightly. How could you look at your day from that point and be like, "Oh, this is a shitty day"? How could you? You can't.
You can even play,
That awe in there, and it's honest.
You can even play, right, Mama?
Yes, of course you can play.
Because the sun is shining.
It is shining.
And the flowers are blooming.
And the flowers are blooming.
Beautifully.
Beautifully. That's right.
Because
Okay, I have to finish this. Thank you for your input. I appreciate you. How can you be upset? And like when you look at things from the perspective of a kid, it's a lot easier to be vulnerable. It's a lot easier to celebrate yourself. It's a lot easier to say, I wonder what would happen. Do you remember when we were kids? We were all little scientists. We all wanted to experiment and make messes and mix this and this and see what happened because we didn't know and we had to learn. And when you go back to that kind of curiosity, whether it's mixing paints together or, you know, building this small, weird balance thing that's kind of like a Jenga tower and you don't know how it quite goes together and stays together, but you made it work and it inspired you. Like, these are just simple suggestions, but if you didn't get back to that childlike thinking, you really end up missing out on what the actual joys in life are. So sometimes just being around kids, just watching kids on their own, doing their own thing, is enough inspiration to make you go, I remember when I was a kid and I did that. And that's kind of the idea. That's what we're going for here. And we got 555 change. Right. Like you're ready. You whatever it is that you got going on in that head there, whatever that idea is, you're taking care of yourself. You're celebrating yourself. You're coming to your alignment, your center, and you're getting ready for change. You're ready to take the leap. Growth, resilience, transformation, purpose, renewal, breakthrough, creative energy. You're about to level up. Although it may not feel easy at first, this challenge is preparing you for greater things that align with your highest good. This is the why you've been seeking. Keep pushing forward. There's a reward waiting for you at the end of this journey. You already know what your why is. You just have to decide if that why is enough to bring you out of your shell, make you a little more vulnerable and ready to take that leap. And either way, you already know how to celebrate yourself and you're learning to find that balance so you can come back to your love, reevaluate your home. Hi, Tommy. How are you? Good evening. So remember, 555 starts popping up. You already know what it is. Get present, what's going on around you, what's playing on the TV, what conversations are happening, what's going on that you can see, how is your body feeling, what are the thoughts in your head. Those are your ideas, inspiration, and guidance. Yes, that's why I miss Radio Shack. It was more hands on thinking uh, than the internet. But you know what? That's so me. What are they called? A kinesthetic learner? I forget what it's called, but that's who I am. Yeah, I'll listen, whatever, but I need to be able to see it, read it, and hands on. The only way I'm going to learn and understand and remember and retain is one, I know the why. I have to know and understand the why, and I have to physically be able to do it, right? Which sometimes is ridiculous because sometimes I look like a fool trying to get stuff done uh, and it doesn't work out. But the good thing is, I'm going to F it up one or two times because I did it hands on. By the third or fourth time, I'm going to be a damn pro. So when we start learning how we learn, how we understand things, it really switches up. And to do that, you have to get vulnerable with yourself. You have to always be vulnerable. You don't have to show the whole world, but you have to be vulnerable with yourself because you got to be able to check yourself. You gotta be able to give yourself compassion. You gotta check yourself when you're saying, "Yeah, I'm being a little hard on myself. Did I just call myself an idiot? Did I just do that? Why would I do that? Would I do that to my kid?" Like that's being vulnerable. And it's also being accountable, and it's a radical act of self-love to be aware in those moments, right? Remember, to be a warrior, you have to trust in yourself. You have to find that balance. You have to understand where you're going and not be afraid to make that dive. Not be afraid to be vulnerable, to start trusting your intuition. It's safe to ask for help. People want to support me. And I'm telling you, that's what it is. Start affirming your greatness. And whatever it is that you want to do, that little inspired idea that I'm not sure what it is, but you know what it is. Uh, you can always ask for ideas. You can like you have the idea. You can ask certain ways to ask, like how would this work, or how what would you think about something like this. You don't have to give out all your ideas, but you can still do a little bit of networking and understanding uh, and market research, I guess is what they call it, as you go. And when you do that, you can still get your answers, and it will help you in how to bring it forth. So never ever give it up. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more because I forgot to do cancer. You just dropped your cat. That's nice. I forgot to do this for cancer. So my cancers, if you watch the replay, this one's for you. My happiness is a direct reflection of how quickly I can shift my perceptions from fear to love. That courage, the ability to be a warrior woman, the ability to show up for yourself and celebrate yourself and do all of the good things and to change your mind, learning to co-create, learning to do all of the things. When you learn to do that, you learn to trust yourself. You learn to trust the universe. And that thing that you want to do, thing you want to dive fully into, it becomes a lot easier. Radio Shack had